All right, guys, welcome back to the video. In this video, we are going to talk about what you are selling and the 5 boxes of consulting. The 5 boxes are what we use in our company. This is the only 5 things that we provide to all of our clients, and it's based on, making them dominate the industry, because we've been talking about that over and over again. That's for our consulting business. That's always what we do. I mean, that's our main goal. All right, so it's important to remember that you are only selling box number 2. Now, you have no freaking clue what that means right now, but you'll learn in a second as we go through it. So box number 1 is always a lead magnet for us. Lead magnet is designed to do a couple things. Number 1, it's designed to broaden the base of the market. And number 2, it's designed to control the audience. So a lot of times when people create a lead magnet, or I think they call it something else in your world, but they'll go out and they'll let me go to plrusa.org and download some crazy, I don't know if that's a real website, but let me download some crazy weight loss thing and from China and put it up behind an opt-in form, because you know what, once they opt in, who cares? It doesn't really matter as long as there's something up there to show them. Yeah, okay, that's really stupid. That's dumb. We don't do that at all. Okay, what we do is, number 1, we broaden the base. Number 2, we capture the entire audience. So what that means is we will take a painter, okay, I'm using that as an example. We will take a painter, and traditional thought in the internet world would be like, okay, let me create an opt-in form and a lead magnet for a painter, and let me do something like 25% off your first job, or free consultation, put your information in, or the 5 reasons why we're the best painting company in the world. Put your information in. What we do is we go off of painting altogether. There's still a painting company, but that's too focused of an audience. What we do is we'll create a lead magnet that says something like the top 5 ways to increase the value of your home without doing anything differently than you're already doing. That's just off the top of my head, but that's pretty good, right? Now, a lot of people will say, well, what does that have to do with painting? Well, one of the 5 ways is to paint your home every 2 years, right? I mean, that would increase the value of your home. If there's fresh paint on it every 2 years, it's nice and clean and it's perfectly done. That's one of the things that you can do, okay? So we broaden the base. Our goal with a painting company, and this is just an example again, our goal is to capture everybody who owns a home. Everybody who owns a home. Why do we do that? Because if we capture everyone who owns a home, we control the audience. And if we control the audience, we control the market. Okay? Now, I'll give you an example that you guys probably will understand. In the internet marketing community 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe, this happened all the time. And if you were around then, you probably saw it, right? You can watch people like what's his name? I forget his name now. The guy with the hair, with the surfing guy. You can watch that guy for whatever reason. I forget his name right now. You can watch that guy, right? And he'll go and launch a product because he has 1 million people on his email list. And then somebody else will go and they'll launch a product and he'll promote their stuff and they'll get a big spike in traffic. And then a couple of weeks later, someone else will launch a product and they'll all promote that one person and then there'll be a big spike in traffic, right? That's how that worked. Why did it work that way? Because those 10 people controlled the entire industry. They controlled the entire market because they controlled the audience. Okay, now what people don't realize is that that's the exact same thing that Amazon does. It's the exact same thing that Starbucks does. It's the exact same thing Best Buy does it. Every supermarket, big supermarkets in every city and town, that's exactly what they do. Why do you think they have the little cards on the keys? They're controlling the audience. And when you control the audience, you control the market. The product means nothing. Okay, the product has to be good. People have to want it. People have to need it. It has to be good. It has to be priced right. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't mean all that much, right? There's not that much of a difference between painter A and painter B. There's really not. Okay, so the product is not meaningless. It has to be good. It has to be priced right. It has to be supported and all that. But when it comes to selling it, it's really not that important. Okay, what's important is who controls the people that are going to spend the money. And I position all of my clients to be the person who controls all of the audience. Okay, the one with the buyers is the one that's going to win all the time. All right. So that's what a lead magnet does. We're not going to be doing that here because you're in an outgoing situation. The lead magnet is more for an incoming situation. So if somebody's coming to your website, first thing they have to see is a lead magnet. That lead magnet has to be broad and it has to be designed to capture the audience, both the buyer audience and the non-buyer audience, and we smush them together. Let me go on to that quickly. There's two chunks of an audience that you care about. There's actually a couple of different chunks of an audience, but there's two that you care about. The two that you care about are the 3% that buy, and that's a rough number, 3 to 5% of the people that are buying right now in any audience in the world. 3% of the people, 3 to 5% of the people in that audience are buying something right now. Whether that's a couch, a car, TV, whatever. Doesn't matter. 3% of people are buying it right now. About 65 to 70% of the people in that audience are possibly thinking about maybe doing something in the next 6 months. And the rest of the people, their brother owns a painting company, or their father-in-law is an auto mechanic, so they don't need one, or whatever it is, right? There's some other reason why it would never be possible to close that deal. So what we want to do is we want to take that 73 to 75% and get every single one of them. All right? That's the goal of a lead magnet. Next, segmentation sale. We broaden the base. We have all of these people on this list. Okay? They're all homeowners. We don't know if they want anything to do with painting, but we know they own a home. Okay? If they didn't own a home, they wouldn't be downloading a free report titled The Top 5 Ways to Increase the Value of Your Home. That would be ridiculous if they were renting an apartment, right? So we know they own a home. So what we do is we do what's called a segmentation sale, because we want to pull out the people who are buying right now. All right, we want to turn as many of those people as we can into people who want their houses painted today. So what we do is we have the owner of the company come on a video, and I script this whole thing out for him. And the owner of the company says, "Thank you so much for downloading our report called The 5 Ways to Increase the Value of Your Home," or whatever I called it before. But he says the title of the report. Then he says, by the way, first he says, it's going to be in your inbox in about 10 minutes. By the way, while you're here, we have a very special offer to make you. Normally, we charge $40 an hour to paint a house. And the average living room, it will cost us, it'll cost probably $200 or $300 to paint the average living room. Maybe it's 12 feet by 10 feet or whatever the numbers are. Then he says, but because you downloaded our free report, and because we're just trying to prove ourselves to you that we're the best painting company inside of San Jose, California, we're going to offer to come to your home, no strings attached, and paint any room in your house. Okay? Now, a lot of people will say, do that for free because you can prove yourself and everybody will take you up on the offer, right? Traditional Warrior Forum offline marketing section will say do that for free. But that's the dumbest thing you can ever do. Why? Who the hell is going to send their entire painting crew to somebody's house for nothing? Only people that do that are the people that are begging for business. That's it. The monetary value does not matter. The actual money that they spend doesn't matter. It could be $1, it could be $1 million. It doesn't matter what it is. But they have to spend something. They have to. And the reason why they have to, there's two reasons. Number one, free is a very powerful word, but it's also a status killer. You give something away for free, your status goes down a lot. Now, a lot of people say you give a lead magnet away for free. But not really, because we're asking for information in exchange. Okay? The second reason is because taking the money the first time is the hardest thing you'll ever do. Taking the money the second time, third time, fourth time, 100th time, that's easy. But taking money the first time is really, really difficult. So we want to make something that's irresistible, something that everybody can take us up on right now. They don't have to think about it. And that gets us in their home so that we can prove to them that we're worth every single dime that they have. So what happens is the painting company, the numbers on average, it's different for every industry, but the numbers on average are about 40%. 40% of the people that opt in will take us up on this offer, right? Get the painting company in the home to paint the house for $5, or just one room for $5. And what ends up happening is the painting company goes in there and they paint the $5 job like it's the Sistine Chapel. I mean, it's like spectacular. Nothing on the floor. The ceilings are cut in perfectly. They leave. It's spotless. They have roses on the table, a card, chocolates, whatever. It's crazy. If they do it that way, about 60% of the people, and again, this is across all industries, but niches, individual industries are different. But across all the clients that I have, about 60% of the people that buy the segmentation sale end up at some point in the future, within 6 months, buying the main offer. Now think about this for a second. You're in Dallas, Texas, Houston, wherever you are, right? You're in your city and you're a plumber. Is there any plumber in Houston, Texas that has the information of 70% of the people in the audience and also closes about 30% of those people and has them as clients? There is not one plumber in that city that does that. Okay? And if there was, he'd be the only option available. He would be completely destroying every other plumber inside that market. That's just the way it works. Now look at a company like Amazon. You think Amazon gets 30% of retail sales? Not even close. Not even close. Does Amazon dominate retail? Yeah. So if you can get 30% of your market to buy from you, you are destroying everyone. You don't have competition anymore. It's over. There is nobody else available. Okay? So the main offer comes next. After that is what we call the profit box. And by the way, I just want to touch on this a little bit. A lot of the clients that I work with think the main offer is easy. This is actually the hardest part of the whole entire process. It takes the longest, and it's the hardest. And the reason why is because this is when we really start expanding the base and expanding the audience and making their business much broader than it is. We turn, the painter into the property management expert or something. We really broaden it out so that they can capture a wide audience. Okay? Increasing the profit. There's a couple ways to do this, but the way that we do it most of the time is something like a maintenance plan. Right? Get your walls painted. Well, what happens if the paint starts to peel? Or what happens if your kid draws crayons all over it? Whatever, right? If that happens, we'll come and fix it for free. We'll paint over it. We'll make sure it's right. And that's only going to cost you $7 a month or whatever. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is called an offer tree. And I try to do both of them with all of my clients if it works inside the industry. But an offer tree very simply is this. Let's say I have a client that's a business attorney. I go to that client and I say, hey, let me ask you a question, man. Do you know an accountant? What's he going to say? She's like, yeah, I'm a business attorney. Of course I know accountants. I know a lot of them. Okay, who's your favorite one? Like, who's the best one that you know? Well, the guy Joe down the road. Okay, so let me ask you this. If we have people coming into this office, obviously you're doing their corporate docs, everything else. They're starting businesses, right? Yeah, okay. So if they start a business, they need an attorney and what else? Probably an accountant. So how about we do this? How about we just take all the clients that you have that need accountants, send them over to Joe, because you said he was the best one that you know of. And every time you do that, Joe will just give you like $100 for the new client. That's cool, right? That's perfect. Awesome. So let me ask you this, Mr. Lawyer, accountant, client. Do you think they need SEO people too? Probably, right? You think they need a website design? Probably. Do you think they need maybe health insurance for their employees if they're getting them? Probably. Do you think they need office space? Maybe, right? We start to create all of these different offers that we can refer out to other people, okay? I have business attorneys that have graphic design partnerships set up. They have logo stuff set up, business cards, accountants, other lawyers that do other things like patent attorneys. It's insane. And I have clients of mine, I'm going to give you an example of one of them in a second, but I have clients of mine that make twice as much money here than they do here. And one of them is a pizza franchise that I work with down in Arizona and a little bit in California, like the southwestern corner of the United States. And basically when I started working with them, they were a pizza franchise. I mean, they sold pizza and they had their franchises and they tried to sell franchises and whatever. Just basic stuff. When I came in, I set up all these things that you're seeing here in front of you. And I said, how about we do this? How about we set up a membership program where somebody comes in. If the order is $12 or more, we are going to pitch them a membership program that costs $19.95 a month, right? $19.95 a month. And with that, they get a pizza pie, they get 12 garlic knots, and they get 2 bottles of soda. How about we do that? And the guy was like, okay, we'll try it. That's crazy. No one will ever buy it, but we'll try it. They make more money on the $19.95 thing than they do selling regular pizza. Okay, the only thing that they make more money on besides the membership program is selling franchises. Now this person, his only job is to get people in the door so that, not so he can sell pizza to them, so that he can get them to buy the monthly membership program. That's his only job. That's it. That's all he cares about. He don't care about anything else. He will break even through the main offer just to get people in here because he sees how much money he's making every single month on this one thing. Hundreds of thousands of dollars across his whole franchise just on that one thing. Okay. After that is retention and referrals. I'm not a big referral guy. I actually hate them, but a lot of people like them. Retention is much more important in my opinion. There is no point in doing all of these things and building all this up if you lose it all in a month or two. Doesn't make any sense, right? If you're going to control the entire market, you're going to control the audience, you might as well keep them. There's no point in doing it for a month. So we have to make sure we have something in place to retain the business that we have. And I'll tell you right now, the best way to retain your clients, do a good job. It's really that simple. Just do a good job. You know, like I said, I'm not big on referrals, but if you want referrals, a very easy way to do it, ask. That's all you got to do. There's no crazy system or what you would just be like, listen, we did a really good job putting the pipes in your home. Do you have any friends that need plumbing work as well? Because if you do, I'd like to do the work for them, and I'll give you $100 for everyone you send to me. That's cool, right? That's fine. Perfect. Okay? Now, again, I'm not a referral guy. I don't take them. I don't like them. It's just not for me. But it's important. Retention is much more important, though. You have to retain the business that you get. If you're losing clients all the time, you're doing something wrong, and you need to fix it. So right now, what we're focused on, now that you know that, I wanted you to get the whole picture, right? So you understand where you would be headed if you wanted to take this further, okay? Right now, we're focused on selling the segmentation sale and the segmentation sale only. We're gonna get the entire audience under our control by creating a video, sending out emails, and doing that, right? We're going to be selling them something that's priced much higher, and we're going to give them a massive discount so they don't have to think about it, and we're going to use a sales tactic that plays their competition against them so that we close the deal, okay? Very, very simple. And then what's going to happen is you are going to go on to sell the main offer later on. What that main offer is, I have no idea. I don't know what business you're in. It could be SEO stuff. It could be consulting stuff. It could be, you could be a freaking doctor. I don't know what it is. It could be anything. What I'll tell you is this. On the Q&A that we have, you guys can ask this question and we'll go through it live for you. Because everyone's going to be different. It's a different setup for everything, right? If you're going to do SEO, it's different. If you're going to do rep management, which is stupid in my opinion, it's different. If you're going to do consulting, it's different. So if you come on the Q&A, there's a registration link somewhere on here. You got it when you bought this. You can ask that question, what the main offer should be in your specific instance, and we'll go through it live for you, and I'll work it out, or Cameron will work it out for you. All right? So we're focused on this. And what you guys have to understand is that, you know, I get that it's about money right now. You know, maybe you didn't make any money yet online or whatever. You know, maybe you made a little bit, whatever it is. I understand that right now it's all about the money. But what you guys have to understand, and I guess you're just going to have to believe me and trust me a little bit on this. What you guys have to understand is that once you get to a certain point, it's not about that anymore. It's not. And I'm not going to go all Tony Robbins on you and be like, oh, yeah, you know, it's about how much you give back. And it's about, like, you know, buying Thanksgiving dinner for people. If you want to do that stuff, great. But it's not about that either. Okay? What it's about is winning and dominating everybody in your path. And you can ask any successful business owner in the world, that's what it's about. The number that I've found to be true for almost everybody that I've talked to is about $200,000 a year. So if you can get to the point where you make 20 grand a month and you say to yourself, I thought this was really hard to do when I was making nothing, but now that I'm here, this is stupid easy and it really hasn't changed my life at all. Now that I'm at $20,000 a month, I know I can make $1 million a year. That's easy to do. If I could do $20,000 a month, I could do $100,000 a month by just doing a little bit more work. It's not that big of a deal. Once you get to that point, it's all about winning and it's all about domination. It's all about crushing other people. And I know that sounds horrible, but ask any successful business owner you know, and that's what they're going to tell you. Do you think Donald Trump still builds hotels because he has to pay his bills? I mean, honestly, think about it. Do you think Donald Trump builds hotels because he has to pay his bills? He builds hotels because he wants to be the biggest real estate person in the world. I mean, that's just that simple, right? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg buys up every single app that comes out because he just feels like spending money? No, he wants to be the biggest social media mogul ever. I mentioned Rockefeller, I think, in the last video. Do you think Rockefeller bought up every single refinery in the United States of America because he just wanted a lot of kerosene? No, he did it because he wanted to be the only person. He wanted to be the most powerful person in the country. That's why they do it. And if you ask any successful business owner in the world, they will tell you that. Okay? It's about money in the beginning, and money is important. I'm not saying it's not important. It's very important. But after you get to a certain level, it's about pure domination. Dominating the market, being the person in the market that is the only option. And by doing it this way, and by selling the way that I taught you in the video, I think there was a video between me and Cameron, and the last one that I did. By selling that way and setting it up this way, you set yourself up to be the only option and to dominate the entire sector that you're in very easily. Okay? That is it. If you have any questions at all, please let us know. And if not, I will see you in the next video.